Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for clicking on the video. My name is Wes, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create this house inspired by Animal Crossing in the MagicaVoxel program. This is a completely free program, so I'll leave a link in the description for you. You're welcome to follow along. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing, if you're not familiar with MagicaVoxel, up here you're going to see this palette. You have 4 different palettes that you can choose from. I've already pre-set up this palette here, so this is palette number 3. I've pre-set up some of the colors that we're going to be using for our house and our layout, and so that you have an idea of what we're looking at. I've started at the bottom. The way that this works, this palette seems to number it from index. You see down there the index 2, 3, 4, and I'll get into a little bit more information later on why you need to know what your index is down there, which location each color is, and a couple of the things that we're going to be doing. Those are your colors. This is your work area here, and up here in the upper right hand corner you're going to see this 75 by 75 by 75, and what that is that's basically your work, your dimensions that you have: 75 wide, length, width, and height. And then this cube over here will show you where it's at, so you can left click and spin it around. Right now I have the blue axis in the front. If you just click it with left click, it'll center it up for you. And then these down here, these are your cameras types. So I have this one on isometric camera, which puts it at this 3/4 angle kind of. So anyways, let's get right into it. So over here I'm going to start by attaching, up here is your brush type. I'm going to use a face brush, and what that does is it'll entirely put a face on the flat surface that you have. See here how it created one full surface, and then I click again and it'll add a second layer on the pixels. You can click, hold, and drag, and you can fill up the entire thing if you want to, but we're going to just go with 2 here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the erase, and I'm still on the face brush, and I'm going to click this, and it's going to erase one facing of that just to make it shrink a little bit. One thing you can do is if we wanted to add some dirt on the bottom, you can select a color over here. One of these that I have is a brown, and then if you go to paint and face, you can paint it, and that way it looks like a little bit of dirt on the bottom layer, so just a little bit of an effect. And then the other thing that you're welcome to do, if you want to go back to your brush and attach, you can go back to grab your ink dropper, select that color down here, and you could add in some hangover grass if you wanted to do something like that. Okay, so our next step, what we're going to do is, before we move up, I like to start from the ground up a lot of times on a little scene like this. So I'm going to take and we're going to randomize that grass here for us. So first what I'm going to do over here, you'll see this is called a selection tool, and I have it set up to select the color. So when I click on the green, it selects all of that green color, and that's how we're going to randomize the colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a command down here in the console bar, and the command to randomize some color is RAND, and then you hit a space, and then what you want to do is you want to put in the coordinates over here. So whichever field that your color is in on your palette, that's what you're going to put. So if you notice how all these greens here, these are all the same on the left hand side, and the reason for that is because I want to have the majority of the color on the grass be that green with a few other colors spread in there. So if I counted these, you have 8 per row, so I'm gonna randomize numbers 1, and then you put another space through 16, When I hit enter, which you should see, if I click off here, you'll see how it randomizes the colors, and it gives you a completely random pattern. So if you don't like it the first time, you can just undo it like this, undo a couple times, and it'll be green again. So what we'll do is again, the command is RAND for random, 1, and then a space, and then number 16. That'll go all the way through that second row. So we'll click off here. So there you go. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. Looks like a Animal Crossing ground. This is obviously much lower resolution, but it'll get out the idea for you. The next step I'm going to go to, we're going to build up some ground here. Your house is going to be on a small foundation, and it's a brownish gray, so I'm selecting this one over here. So I like to be able to know the size of it, so I'm going to go 35. And so I'm just going to move this around a little bit. There's an easier way to do this, but this is the way that I'm going to do. You just click once, and there you go. So you have your foundation here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my face brush over here, and I'm going to add one layer of thickness to make it a little bit higher. And then I want to bring out some sides here. So what I want to do is I want to make this symmetrical. So what I like to do is put on your XY coordinate, and then when we draw this little box out here for your bushes that you'll see, it matches on the other side. So this is going to be the front of our house out here, and then these are going to create your little holding areas for the shrubs. So that doesn't look too bad. And then next thing what we're going to do is we're going to create another layer up just to hold a little bit of depth to it. Sometimes with the color, I don't know if your monitor isn't calibrated to whites and blacks, it might be hard to kind of see. Okay, so you can see you got your sides over there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of corners for your foundation, some corner posts. And so if you see here now, I'm going to just draw these around, and I want it to be 2 by 2. See, 1, 2 by 1, 2. And then what we want to do is we want to add a face onto that, and that lifts it straight up. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Just to finish the foundation, we're going to go and put the steps in the front here. So if we just go back here to your box mode or your voxel mode, the box mode would be better for us here. We'll go and we will create our steps, and you'll see that it does not put it on the back because we only have it on the X axis. Okay, and then I'm going to add a face of that so it comes out one, back to the box mode, and we're going to put a second stair there for us so that way we can have the look of the steps. Alright, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to start building up the house a little bit. So one way that we'll do that, I'm going to put the corner pillars in first, and to do that I'm going to select this orange color over here. I'm going to go to mirror X and Y, and then I want to go to voxel and then cube 2-dimension, and I want to have it be smaller, so when I put this over top, it'll fit right on top of that. It'll put it on all 4 posts at the same time, and then I can just simply go back to your face brush, and then you can bring that up to the height that you want. So this one, you know, that might be a little bit high. We can erase some of those faces here, and we'll build up the side walls, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so leaving the X and Y mirroring mode on, I'm going to go to the main color of the house, which is this tannish color over here, and then I'm going to get a box tool, and we're going to build the first part of the wall there. So then we're going to go over here and we're going to build a second one. You can see how it's mirroring automatically for us. And then if you haven't guessed already, we'll go to the face and we'll click face, click and drag it all the way up top, and there you go. For this one here, do the same thing. There we go. Starting to look like a little bit of a house here. You want to go to your box mode again, and we're going to start in this corner here, and we're going to draw a slight box like that. You see how it fits in there, and then you can add a face on here, a couple faces deep, and there you go. You have the beginning of your roof. Okay, I'm going to add a second facing on there so it's 2 pixels thick, 2 voxels thick. And then this is another good technique for us to be able to use. So I'm going back to my select tool here. I'm going to select this. And then when it's, you can go to your move tool here, and if you hold down Control and hit C and then Control V, Command V if you're on a Mac, you can pull out a duplicate copy. So you can see that. So I'm going to move it over by 2. Okay. And then Control V, and then you can just continue to pull those out of that other one. Now if you wanted to, you could take and select all of these depending on how your what your project is. Copy those, paste those, and then you can drag up all of those like that. You can see how that's going right along. And then Control V one more time. This might be a little bit big, but we'll see. Okay, looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to select this. I'm going to copy this and paste it, and then I can move this out of the way. And this is a good tool, so we can get this lined up. So I have this selected already. And then over here, if you see this, your tools section, one thing that we can do is we can flip and rotate this. So we're going to try to flip this around. So if you hit the Y, rotate. If you hit the rotate Y, it flips it like, that's wrong, sorry. Rotate X, nope. Third time's a charm, nope. You'll get there eventually, but there's a quicker way. Anyways, you can rotate it around, and then it's mirrored, and then you can use that to finish out your roof. Okay. And I went back to my box mode here, and I'm going to attach a box up top, starting here, and we're going to bring it down for the top of your roof, and then I'm going to add a facing of it like that. Alright, there you go. Your roof is moving right along. Next thing we got to do is we got to fill in for where your roof is here. So we'll go back to our face attach, and what we're going to do is we're going to select the color with your dropper tool, attach your face, and then you can click and drag that up. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with the back. We'll click and drag that up, and you'll see that it's sticking out a little bit. No big deal. Go to your select tool, you select that, hit the delete button, and you can just delete those out. And there you go. Okay, next is we're going to move on to the door. So the nice thing about this is that we already have the structure for the walls here. What we can do is, there's lots of ways that you can create the look of this. You know what I think I'm going to bring out this steps a little bit so they look a little bit bigger. There we go. Maybe even one more. There we go. The reason I did that is because I think I'm going to have this door frame sticking out a little bit, and so to do that I just want to make sure that it wasn't overhanging the steps. So I'm going to go to box mode, and I have my orange color selected. I'm going to do that. I'm going to click and drag this, and I'm going to make the door you know, about up to where the roof starts. Okay. And then I'm going to erase some voxels here. I want to make this a little bit more rounded. So select erase, cube, 2-dimensional. I'm going to go down to 1 cube. I'm just going to erase a few of these just to help give it a little bit more of a rounded shape. And that's the thing about voxels and pixel art, is sometimes, you know, you don't want it super detailed. It just depends on what style you're going for. Sometimes I like the blockier stuff, but for this one I think this will work pretty good. Okay, there's our door frame. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put the door inside of that door frame. So to do that, we're just going to select this color here, same color as our roof. It's a reddish pink, and we're going to go and we're going to use this paint feature over here, and we're going to go to box paint, and so we can click and drag this box paint up this way. I'm going to actually give this 2 pixels wide for the door frame. There you go. And then we can add in a couple more layers up here. And one more. Okay, there's our door. Looking pretty good. Okay, this one here I have created this yellow. I'm going to add a doorknob onto here. And so I'm just going to go to attach, and I'm going to go to a box, and we're going to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to voxel, and I'm going to make my cube, 2-dimensional cube, about like this. I'm going to put it right about there. You can play with this, see how you like it, but I have to put a window up here, and so I didn't want to, you know, cramp it too much. For our window, what we'll do is we're going to make the window this black over here. I'm going to go to paint, and we're going to just paint the window in. Now this one you need to leave some room for the I'm not real big on that. We have to leave some room for the crossbars in the window, so I'm going to make this one taller than it is wide. Go back to our red, paint, voxel. My cube is going to be 1 wide this time. This is something that you can do. So the issue I'm coming into right now is, let me see something too. Oh, I can fix this. So the issue I'm coming into is that my door, I want this centered up, this crossbar, and it's kind of looking like it's not going to line up because I have my window here on an even number of pixels across. So if you have that an odd number, you can always make it cross. And so I can fix that right now with this because I don't quite have my door frame lined up. So I'm going to go to attach face. I'm going to add a face of this orange over here, like this. And then I'll go back to voxel and I'll add cube here. There we go. And then I just need to extend the paint out as well. Okay, that's more centered. And then I will finish off by adding a additional row over here of the black paint. Okay, there we go. And then we'll do this. We're going to go straight down and then straight across. You can use this. This is a line tool. This might help. So you can just click and drag and it'll create that. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but that's okay. Nobody should criticize you for that. Okay, looking more like a Animal Crossing house. We're going to add some more details in. So we have this this next one, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little detail on the frame. So this is 3 wide by 3 wide. So what I'm going to do is also I'm just going to do 3 wide this way, draw it, and this way here, and draw that as well. You can see there's 2 spaces between the bottom, so if you lose track, you can just do it like that. 1, 2. There we go. Another way that you could have saved time right there, I'll just show you. So you could do X and Y. Okay. You can do just X, and it should be over on the other side too. So we're going to go 3 high all the way across, and you'll see it mirrors it. Hopefully these line up on the, yeah, there you go. Okay, looking good. Okay, we're going to put a window in on the sides of the house. So to do that, we're going to go back to, we're going to keep the same orange color, and we're going to create a box here. And we're going to try to center it up as best as we can. Have it on both sides. And then I'm going to go to my erase tool. I'm going to erase out these boxes. I'm going to go a few steps back. I'm not big on the shape of that window. Box, attach. Okay, there we go. And then what you can do, you go to your black, and then we'll just paint inside of this. Erase box. I am not real big on it. I'm going to fix this real quick, guys. Box. Erase. We're going to go like this. Erase this. And we're going to attach a box here of orange. And I know it'll bug me if I don't fix it. Okay. And then we're going to paint the inside of these black. Let's see. We're just going to paint side of these. These should be symmetrical. So there you go. Windows coming along. Roof is done. And we're going to add a little bit more details up top here with the orange again. I should have finished this originally. No big deal. Go to our box tool, attach. And what we want to do is we want to create the crossbars in the roof. So we're going to take the X off. And you can do it for the Z. And so what this will do is this will allow us to I'm sorry guys, I get those mixed up. Puts it in the back. Okay, and then we're going to create one up top, coming down. Okay, and then we're going to create the cross ones here. So we go boom. There you go. You have the cross section, and I don't like the roof being flush with those, so I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to attach a face on it, and I'm going to extend that out, and so you can see how that extends it. Okay, guys, looking pretty good. Okay, would be Animal Crossing if you didn't have your trusty mailbox. So we're going to go to mailbox next. I have this red here for our mailbox. We're going to go to box, box mode, box brush. We're going to attach, and we're going to attach a box right out here. So we're going to take and draw about like that. And then we're going to take that face brush again, click it, drag it up. Okay. This is why you always got to remember to turn your mirror mode off. I think I'm going to just go with a single voxel on this, and then I'm going to take that and I'm going to extend it up. Okay, and then we're going to go back to their cube, two-dimensional cube, and we're going to increase this a few, like that, guys. So we have an 8. I'm gonna go to a 7, because then your center should be centered up on that single cube there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach some faces to it to make it longer than it is wide. 1, 2. Okay, and then we're going to add some thickness to it. Okay, next I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the erase and just shape this out a little bit. Okay, not too bad. I'm going to put a little bit of paint on the front here. There we go, and then we're going to also attach the little arm. You can do this however you want. I'm going to have this arm going up. We're going to go back to attach. We're going to have this arm raising so it looks like you have some mail waiting for you. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky getting these voxels where you want to when you get tight like that. Alright, looking pretty good. Okay, we're going to do our plants on the outside right now. So we're going to use this brown as the base for it. We're going to go box, and then I do want to turn on my X so it appears on both sides. This is this one you probably won't really see on the trunk of it, so I'm just going to bring this up a little bit like this, just one wide, and I'll show you why I want to bring it up a little bit taller than what it might normally need to be. What we're going to do on this though is we're going to attach a voxel, and we're going to go to a sphere, three-dimensional sphere. Okay, we're going to pick a green, kind of like this, and you see the little red square there on that box. That's where it's attaching to the other voxel, and so if you don't have it up high enough, you won't be able to, it'll start bleeding into the other side. So I do want to make this one, you know, a little bit bigger, and it can be kind of tricky lining these up. If I go like that, it's a little bit too big, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, so we have that set up, and then we're going to go back to the technique that we had looked at earlier. So we're going to select this, and we're going to hold down Shift and select both of those. And then once you have them selected, you're going to go back to this randomize, and that's what I've set these up here. So we're going to randomize. We're going to go down here, rand space, and if you remember, so this is 8, 16, 24. So we're going to do 25 through 29. When you enter, it'll randomize that tree to make it look like that. Alright, doing good. And one last thing, one last little detail I'm going to put on here is I'm going to put on Animal Crossing, your money that you get are called bells. So we're going to go to this yellow here. The bags of bells are yellow. We're going to go to voxel. We're going to go to a two-dimensional cube, and we're going to go to something like a 5 here and see what it looks like. Actually, let's go to sphere, and now that'll create it to be round like that. Okay, everybody likes finding some bags of money. We need to add a face to it. Voxel. Let me erase a couple of these. And then I'm actually going to paint that red. Paint. And you can paint the face too, so if you click paint face, it'll put that, and that's the tie for the bag of bells. We're going to attach a voxel again, and we're just going to attach one right there. Okay, so we're gonna make a couple of these so we can have a little bit of money there. Control C again to copy, paste, shift it out, and then you want to move it up here, create one more, move it back, and there you go. Okay guys, there is your Animal Crossing house. You can play with it. I'd like to see what you guys do. Leave comments. Be sure to let me know any other projects or games that you would like me to see do some voxel art for, and we'll see what we can do. I'm still learning this program, so I really do enjoy it, though. It's free for anybody. I can leave the link in the description for you, and you can give it a go. So put this here. One last little touch. You mess with things for too long, you make it overdo it, right? Again guys, thanks for watching, appreciate it. Go ahead, like and subscribe, and love to hear from you and what kind of things that is that you do with your voxels.